Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This video will deal with freedom of speech, and freedom of speech that is enforced for some and is not enforced for others. Now, for me, freedom of speech should be infringed or limited just a little bit, and we know exactly those points. We know exactly what limits should be, and we criminalized them. So I'm going to give you a few examples. For instance, you can't create panic by saying something that is not true, and people start panicking, and they act, and accidents can happen. And we're given from infancy the idea that the example that you can't just say fire, yell fire in a theater, movie theater, if there's no fire. You create panic, you will be prosecuted, charged, and convicted right there. Well, that's one. The other one, you can't threaten people without consequences, right? Like, hey, I'm gonna threaten them with violence. And the other one easily is you can't incite to violence. Like, hey, guys, you should go and do this and okay? It's not the perception. Go over there and protest, and the guys go over there and protest, and it escalates into a riot. It was your fault because you incited them to go and protest. I don't say you go over there and, well, it's hard to ascribe intent, okay? That's what I said, that's what I meant, that's it. But January 6th wants to destroy that kind of, I just said over there and peacefully protest. Now, if that escalated and was hijacked, is it my fault? This guy wants to make it as such. So we have here CNN, and I just want to analyze how CNN is allowed to create panic without being sanctioned, but I or anybody else, for good reasons, for lawful reasons, should not be, cannot do this. And I don't intend to do that. I'm just saying, if I create panic by claiming something that creates panic, then, I will have consequences of me, not only from YouTube or other media, platforms, social platforms, but from probably the authorities. So let me show you how CNN is going to claim something that is still debatable as a fact. And it's actually not debatable. It's not evidenced. But they say it as a given. And they start the whole article from there as a given. Now that creates panic. And I don't know if they knew that it's a lie or it's not, evidenced yet. So it's misinformation, or they knew, which is disinformation. Let me show you. Here is the article. CNN. How long do we have until sea level rise swallows coastal cities? So that's a given that is going to. It's just a matter of time. This is creating panic. And he says, this fleet of ocean robots will help find out. So it's a given by CNN, climate writer, that there will be a sea level rise. And how long do we have until this happens? Let's find out. These guys will find out how long, not if it happens. Isn't that creating panic? Remember, a society has, by direct experience, and not only, I think 95% cowards. Maybe not cowards. Very scared people, weak people. That's why democracy works, because people maneuver and manipulate weak people with scare tactics and tell them, you're going to be attacked, I will defend you. And these guys say, wait a minute, what do you mean we're going to get attacked? Oh, you get to something intellectual. They target your feelings. They already got the 51% with the feelings things. Now they work on the people, in general, who use their brain and have questions. Maybe I'm skeptical about it. But the courageous people will say, wait a minute, not only courageous, because in life I got to reach this I reached this conclusion, and I'm not the only one, that courage, and I'm not talking about being reckless, is a commodity more scarce than intelligence and knowledge. Intelligence and knowledge is wider spread, spread it, then courage. Now, courage comes with knowledge as well. How is that? Well, if you've never been in the woods, in the evening, in the night, or during the day, but you watched videos with horror movies, you would not go into the woods. You would be afraid shitless to go over there. But if you went in the woods, if you read about the woods, if you went in the night, you understand there's not, some devils over there or some who knows what, werewolves or vampires and shit like this. But if you have no knowledge or experience with that and you watch, or even if you don't watch, you see the darkness, night, you don't know what you're going to find. You hear some cracks in the wood, maybe a hoo, hoo. Oh my God, that's the devil right there. So, and then by that, you know when someone tells you, don't go in the woods, there's all kinds of spirits over there. Okay, you're just a superstitious, person from the past who could not explain reality. It's just an owl, my friend. Anyway, saying you will go, you have the courage because you know what the guy told you, it's just BS. Now, these guys from CNN, they say how long we have sea level. Do you remember when it was that guy, the first guy that I listened to, I heard, and I even watched the video, the movie. It was An Inconvenient Truth. It was, I remember I watched it, the video, the movie of Al Gore, the former vice president under Bill Clinton. Remember, he was a candidate and so on. I think that those elections showed to the baboons the system is as it is. So a court, if you remember, stopped counting the votes. So stopped finding the truth because that would create something uncomfortable. Therefore, a court ordered stopping the counting. I'm not for Gore or for Bush. They're all weasels. The fact that these guys defended the system, whomever, that showed to me at that time, what do you mean? I want to find the truth. You can't. They ordered not to recount them because that would cast shadow on the system and people will have, So keep calm and imbeciles right here, fat in a cage, then a little bit thinner and free. This is the attitude here. So when I watched that, The Inconvenient Truth, I think Al Gore said that the sea levels will rise this amount. I can't remember how much it was. In about 10 years, 15 years, something like this. Nothing happened. And he was talking about the oceans, not the lakes. All right, the oceans. So what's going on here? And then after a while, I made a video here and I just looked over all these statements from 1950s up, when there were some alarmists, people saying the same thing as these guys say right now, and Al Gore said, what's her name, Greta Garbo Thunberg said, and others, and AOC, Cortez, whatever her name is. Remember, it's going to be in 10 years, we'll be gone, and that's it. I'm not saying we should not keep an eye on that, but these guys use it as a given. How long we have it, we know it's happening. But my question is, if it's happening, how come all these billionaires, millionaires, and people who, dare to invest their money in properties go around the coast? That should be the cheapest land, by the coast of an ocean. Why? Sea levels will rise, they tell us. That's just an example. It's just a logical argument. It's not based on anything. I don't see it growing. I don't see it going. The same thing with climate change. Yes, we have seasons. Well, this year was the hottest recorded. So was 5 years ago, or 20 years ago, or 30. You always have the hottest, or the coldest, the coolest. What happened in the meantime? What happened in the meantime? What happened in the past, 50 years? You can make a graph. Now, as I said, there are certain things that are still debatable. You don't go as a given. If someone will tell you that, let's verify, let's conduct a study to see if a handgun will protect you when these guys are going to enter in your house to rape your family and take everything you got and hang you. What do you mean? What do you mean? So you don't go as a given I didn't say if. I said when. The same with these guys. When. They would just want to find out. Huh? When it's going to happen, not if. So you can't say things like this. You're going to scare people. Well, how come CNN is not charged with anything? I mean, I'm not asking this like I'm waiting for an answer. I have the answer. Obviously, CNN can say whatever fuck it wants as long as it's still on the right side, which it is because it's owned by the right side. Just show you how these guys are making news. And people read it and they miss the first thing. How long do we have until Silev? They miss the point. Wait a minute. Who said it's going to? Al Gore? Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.